Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio with Brian Leonard and Ralph Michaels. We got the band back together here, guys. We've done a lot of videos together, the three of us, and want to tell everybody this video is sponsored by YouWager.eu. Want to get a 50% sign-up bonus? Use coupon code WT50 when signing up. This is an exclusive offer to our WagerTalk viewers. Guys, we've got a big one in the SEC. Kentucky heads to Mississippi State. We're taping this one on Wednesday. I'm projecting the line. All three of us talked right before we went on air, and I'm at -2.5. Ralph, you said you're thinking Kentucky 3. Brian, you thought it was a little smaller. So basically, I was in the middle of you guys. So we'll go with my number, -2.5, Kentucky on Saturday for the projection. You look at this one, I'll start with you, Ralph. Big one in the SEC as far as Kentucky goes. We've seen this movie before. They only had 2 returning starters. Start out a little bit slow, first few games out of the gate, and here we are in February.
Not even 2. They really had 1 returning start. They had 4 players drafted. So right now, Kentucky's starting freshman at point guard, freshman at shooting guard, freshman at small forward, sophomore at power forward, and then Reed Travis, the Stanford transfer, first year at Kentucky. So to me, Kentucky was so young. They're learning how to play. Well, what have they done lately? 9 straight wins, 7 straight covers. What have they done against Mississippi State? 12 straight series wins. Mississippi State's this team that's trying to take the next step in the SEC. The SEC is much deeper than it's been in the past. Who has Mississippi played? They played an Ole Miss team that's been greatly improved under Kermit Davis 2 games ago with the in-state rival. They're playing LSU tonight, a very big game against a very improved LSU team. What did Kentucky do? They has an extra day rest, played South Carolina last night, blew them out by 20-some points. I like Kentucky.
You look at this one in Mississippi State. Ben Howland's turned his program around down there, and when you think of Ben Howland, you always think about those great defensive teams that he's had, the run he had at Pitt and then the UCLA. But that hasn't been the case with this Mississippi State team. They don't play, great defense, and offensively, they're going to have trouble against Kentucky. This is a Kentucky team now that's held 5 straight opponents to 37% shooting or less. How does Mississippi State get enough points to stay in this game?
Ralph had mentioned Kentucky being so young. Well, Kentucky's young every year. That's just the way it is in that program. It's interesting. We look back at Kentucky, the first game of the season, they lose by 34 to Duke. What the hell happened to this Kentucky team? Well, Kentucky's lost 2 games since by 1 and 2 points. Yeah. This is your same athletes you always get at Kentucky, and they'll be going to the NBA just like all the ones in front of them. The concern I have here from Kentucky's standpoint is, number one, they're on a big winning streak. Everybody's talking about them, so the line's going to be higher. I only made this Kentucky 1. Obviously, I'm looking to play the dog here. And the reason I like the dog is Mississippi State funnels their defense for you to shoot bad percentage 2-pointers, just mid-range 2-pointers. In fact, 33% of the shots that are taken against Mississippi State are from that area. And Kentucky does shoot 33.3%. 1/3 of their shots are mid-range jumpers. And the reason why is because they're a young team, they get impatient. If they can't get to the basket and they can't shoot the 3-pointers, they settle for bad shooting shots, bad shots to shoot, and they're shooting only 35.2% from that. And that's one of the worst in the country. So I don't like teams who shoot the least effective shots, and it's the mid-range jumper. And you got one team that pushes you towards that, and you got a team that likes to take those. I would much rather prefer the teams to shoot the 3-pointers or get to the basket. If I can get 3.5, as he mentioned that he think it may be, I may be on the dog here at 3.5.
Live home dog for Brian.
So perhaps putting our 2 heads together, a lean with the under as well.
The under makes sense.
All right, good stuff. So Ralph tells you go under. Brian says take the home dog in this one. And guys, we'll be back with more. Hey, if you like our videos, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and be sure to leave a comment. We'll get back to you with it. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.